Hey y'all, Irix Guy here. Welcome back to another live show. And if you're watching this at approximately 8:30 p.m. New York City time, then this is live. Got some, again, always doing the updates on the studio. I hope to have a studio live show tomorrow evening, Friday evening. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to try to get that, try to get the invitation out in advance, but go ahead and mark your calendars. Probably going to be doing that live show around probably about 8 p.m. New York Friday night. So again, if you'd like to be a live guest, face on video, feel free to shoot me a message. The best way to do that is just go to facebook.com/Irix Guy and just say, hey man, I'd like to be considered for face on video, live guest for the show. So today, just a few updates for the channel. I've got the second set in the studio. I've got my green screen set with the desk, but I'm working on a second set that'll be just kind of like a sofa area and, just make it look kind of cool on video. So I'm working on that. The biggest challenge with that is the sofa, because if you're going to do a sofa set, you got to have a sofa. So I'm waiting to get that sofa, with everything, the condition that, the situation we're all in right now with this. Well, I don't have to say what it is. All you got to do is look outside at all the people wearing masks. So it's, logistically, it's created a lot of logistical challenges. So, if you're waiting on equipment, in my case, some studio equipment, obviously that is not the top priority of the shippers, and it shouldn't be, because there's a lot of more important stuff that's being shipped right now. But as soon as I get that, I'm going to have, the grand opening of the second part of the live studio. So that's going to be cool to have two different, and actually I may be able to incorporate more than just two studio sets. So yeah, that ought to be pretty good. And got some ranch dressing and some lettuce, and had this wrap on a tortilla. It was good. Feeling good, just sweating out that ranch dressing, I guess, because I ate, ranch, dipped my grilled chicken wrap in ranch dressing. Avocado ranch to be exact. So yeah, see a bunch of people tuning in. Hope y'all are staying healthy. And yeah, Willie said it, man. Coronavirus, man, that stuff, everywhere. Stay safe. Wash your hands, man. You gotta do whatever you can to stay away from that. And yeah, hopefully this stuff will clear up soon, man. I know we're all tired of it, and it's bad, but it's created a unique, from a business perspective, and I realize it's been devastating in some sectors, but it's created a lot of new business models, and those business models have been created out of necessity. So some new business models that probably never would have emerged had it not been for the global pandemic. So it's made, and it's also prompted a lot of industries to look at, say, okay, well, this happened. This was not just a fiction book that we were reading saying, well, there'll be a pandemic that'll somewhat bring the world to its knees. It's actually happened. So now any intelligent business person would look at this and say, okay, it's happened once, and I'm not going to say it's going to be the same thing again, and hopefully there'll be a vaccine or whatever that'll just make it go away. But if something else happens that brings worldwide business to a standstill, I think it's really made, it should have made rather, companies internationally reevaluate their their business processes and say, look, if we weren't able to open our brick and mortar, if we weren't able to interact, face to face with others, how could we do business? You know, how can we innovate? And that, you know, to put a positive spin on the coronavirus, and coronavirus is not a good thing by any means, but to put a positive spin on it, you know, it's prompted a lot of people in a lot of industries to just look and say, hey, you know, how can we be better prepared should something similar happen in the future? You know, I mean, it's just one of those things. So, but anyway, the good thing is, I mean, you know, if you're able to, you know, to get out and get fresh air and exercise and do that sort of stuff, you know, at least you can do things and not be up in other people's faces and potentially, you know, if you had the virus, spreading it to them. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to talk about the virus. I mean, we hear too much about that on other things. This channel is all about adventure and positivity, and that is not coronavirus positive. It's just, you know, being fun, having a good time, and sharing the adventure with everyone. So with that being said, I got a lot of adventures. One of the biggest things, and again, I am Our Skies Adventure channel is you know, we're in a travel ban right now, which means Our Skies Adventure channel cannot travel. Yeah, Willie Dog says yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're unable to travel by boat or plane. So Michael says, I have been out flying my drone near the beach, enjoying the solitude. No doubt. You know, that's a good point. You know, and probably something else that you may have noticed. There's a lot more. Vita Man says the Pontiff. He must be talking about AC3 Archibald Chesterfield III. It'd be really cool if AC3 and Jenny L would do a live show together. You know, I've been up. I posted a video, but my German's not that good, and you know, I hope I didn't offend Jenny L. But I really want to get those two set up for a live show. I think it would be wonderful. But yeah, talking about flying your drone, enjoying the solitude. You know, one of the things that I've noticed is kind of weird. You know, you go out in the wilderness. In your case, you're talking about going to the beach, but you go out there and you'll probably notice there's a lot more. You know, if you got birds, you probably hear a lot more birds. If you're out in the wilderness, you probably see a lot more snakes. You know, all of that is a direct result of, you know, there being less human activity in those areas. So, you know, the animals, the wildlife starting to reemerge. So, you know, check that out the next time you're in the wilderness. Listen to how many birds you hear. Check to see how many snakes you see. And, you know, bears. Now, bears, yeah, there's a lot of bears too. And I bet they're more. I haven't had a bear encounter within the past, it's been a few months since I've encountered a bear. But, yeah, bears are in full swing right now because, you know, it's nice weather and they haven't had as many people coming out and, you know, being close to them. So they've gotten become more comfortable with the wilderness. So again, another interesting side product of the pandemic that we're all seeing it run its course, hopefully. So yeah, so that's going on. Again, you know, having the travel ban is tough because I can't hop on an airplane, I can't hop on a boat. Michael says Intercoastal is so nice, just a few boats out and watching the sunset, just beautiful. There you go, man. And there's still fish and, you know, stuff in the ocean. You can go out there and catch that and eat it. So, you know, that's another good thing, man. Just getting out and catching some good, you know, catch you some wahoo or some yellowfin tuna or some snapper or grouper. Kevin says, but you could hop on a Swagtron. There you go. The only thing, man, and those things will look cool, and I'm probably missing out. I'm afraid to do it because if I do it, then there's an activity that I'm doing outdoors and I'm not getting exercise. So, you know, it sounds crazy, but my thing is anything I do outside, I want to get a bunch of exercise so I don't get as fat. That's the bad part about this. I'm not going to a gym right now because I don't want to be in an enclosed space with people. So, you know, I've got to get this cardio. Maybe once the gym's open again. Kevin says alternate, walk then ride. There you go. That's a good point. So, you know what I may do, Kevin, when the gyms are, when all this stuff clears. But see, I like to be an early adopter of tech. So by the time all of this clears, you know, doing the Swagtron videos may not be as important. Because see, everything, well, not everything, but most everything that I film on the channel, it's like right now for the Swagtrons, it's hot, man. You know, early adopter, it's hot. You know, get out there, get the videos, get the traction. But, and you know, maybe it wouldn't be too bad. You know, once this stuff clears up, maybe, you know, once I'm able to get back in the gym and have my really hardcore workouts and start burning some of this fat off, you know, then maybe I'll be able to bring in you know, one of the hobbies I've thought about, you've talked about the Swagtron, and another thing that several people have mentioned is 3D printing. And I don't know if any of y'all have dealt with 3D printing. I know it's been out for a while, but, you know, I was looking at kits, and the consensus has been that for around $200 US, that you can get a more than acceptable 3D printing rig. And of course, you got to buy the filament and all of that. But yeah, cool, man. Yeah, I think, but then again, 3D printing doesn't provide any sort of cardio or strength training benefit. However, it is an indoor and rainy day activity. So, you know, from that perspective, I could probably stomach 3D printing right now more than I could a Swagtron electronic bike. Just because, I don't know. I mean, but dude, it's not that I'm not interested. You know, I've just, you know, I've got to look at all the line items on my YouTube to-do list. And, you know, I've got to blend these with exercise, man. I mean, even drones. You know, I get out there and run around in circles with auto follow modes and have the drones chase me, and I hike to the filming locations where I fly the drone. So, you know, the drone, even though the drone itself, the 30 minutes or so that I'm actually flying the drone, that's not providing, you know, any sort of health benefit. But, you know, all the hiking to and from and the, you know, all of that is beneficial. So, you know, from that perspective, the drone is providing an exercise benefit. Kevin says, been over a year since I've flown my drone. Man, that's a long time. You got to pop that sucker back out. You need to order Mavic Air 2. Mavic Air 2, you know where you can find them. Yeah, it's, you know, I've been like that at times too. I mean, sometimes I've taken a few weeks off of drones. So over one, great job getting outside. Keep it up. Yeah, man, you can't sit inside all day. And that's been the toughest, you know, the toughest thing about this, because I'm a very active individual. And, you know, the toughest thing for me has been, you know, not being able to go to a gym. And, you know, I'm not going to build a home gym again, because then I've got all this stuff that once they do get a cure for this, that I'm going to want to get back out and go to a brick and mortar gym, and then I'm going to have to sell all my gym equipment again. And you know that after coronavirus, there's going to be a flood of home fitness equipment hitting the market. So it's not like you could just easily sell it, because there's going to be a lot of people trying to sell also. Geo1, welcome aboard, man. Always good to have you. Always good to have all y'all. Kevin Irix, I've been doing the keto diet. Have you tried it? I know a lot of people do it. They've had great success. I've done a lot of diets. You know, my Soar Over One says that makes sense. My preferred diet, and here's how I do it. So when I start getting really fat, first thing I start getting fat on the chin, I've gained weight there, which is unacceptable. But then I start getting fat around the belly, and my rule of thumb, or I guess I should say about 3 fingers, if I can't stick 3 fingers between my belt and my waist, then I'm getting too fat. So when I do that, what I start doing is, you've got a triple chin. There you go, man. But yeah, if the belt starts getting tight, then that's when I do the tuna binge. JS, good evening. Good evening, JSK Enterprise. Welcome aboard. That's the tuna and water. I've never done keto. Sugar Art says keto here as well. Works as long as you stop the carbs. Yeah, carbs are the problem, man, because, see, I like to air fry potatoes. I like to eat baked potatoes. I like to eat breaded fish. Andrea, welcome aboard. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anything, and I do eat a lot of carbs, but the good thing is now is that I'm on the vegetables. I'm just eating a ton of vegetables, grilled, steamed. But sure, I eat all the fried food too, so I don't know. I mean, bottom line, talking about dieting, keto works. I haven't personally done it because I'm not that disciplined. But for me, I mean, I can get on, and I've got a link on my website even, it's crazy. But check out my tuna and water thing. And that's what I do, man. I just order those packs of tuna and drink water, and I can drop just a ton of weight. And obviously I'm working out concurrently, but even if I wasn't working out, I would still drop. Irix, if we could go back to being 18, man, 18. Let's see, when I was 18, I was already 21. I was partying it up, dude. Going out to all the bars and drinking a ton of beer, and I wasn't married then, so I was, and then going out with them to eat and going out with the man. But those times when you were younger, yeah, but we were slimmer then. You're right. See, that was the that was the thing. The metabolism, back at an earlier age, was different, and also the diet. Even though that wasn't too long ago, the stuff that was in food back then was not as I don't think foods were as processed then as they are now, and that's the stuff too that that causes weight gain issues. So yeah, man, but that was I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't know if I would have done anything over, man. I mean, I'm getting close to 40. I'm old. I got gray hair. But I don't know if I would have done anything differently, because I know what I would have done. I would have started an internet company that I wanted to start, but I never did. And then I started a computer consulting company. I wish I'd started that internet company, because if I'd been able to start that, I could have sold it to the highest bidder and been a retired multimillionaire now, and I'm not. So, but that's the goal. Never abandon your goal. Never step away from your goal, because if you set a goal, and not just one goal, but multiple goals, whether it's career goals, whether it's whatever, weight loss, weight gain, whatever kind of goal you want. If you don't set a goal, you're probably never going to achieve it. Kevin says, okay, my friend, doing good. Keep it up. Sorry, I had to have a great 4th. Take some videos of some fireworks with your drone. There you go, man. There you go, Kevin. I may have to get some of those things out and shoot them, That's always fun. But I know what I am going to be doing. I'm going to be smoking some barbecue and some vegetables and all that. You have a safe and happy 4th, man. That's right. The 4th of July is, I'll be darned, that's Saturday. Jimmy says, if you could go back to 40 again. Well, I'm about to be there. So, I don't know. It's just staying active and, staying busy and, keeping your mind busy. That's the main thing, is just, having a lot of hobbies that are also career pursuits, and, provide exercise and entertainment value. But man, I tell you this, and I know it's tough for everyone, but this pandemic, and my having my adventure channel locked down. You know, I mean, it's serious. It's a travel ban. My channel's not allowed to travel. And, you know, that's boat and that's airplane. So that pretty much puts a lot of the cool things out. So I'm going to have to innovate and figure out what I can do travel-wise that doesn't involve an airport or a boat or a train. So, yeah, I don't know, man. That's some weird stuff. Jimmy says 40 is young. Yeah, I guess it is. I don't know. I did a review. Not a huge car guy, but you know, I like good deals and I like stiff negotiations. And I wasn't even looking for a car. So I've got the Audi. I had the Audi A3, which is a really good car. You know, as far as maintenance, super affordable. It's, you know, haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. But of course, you know, because of the stuff that's going on, there were these incredible incentives. And, you know, but I was just like, nah, that's stupid to swap out. Long story short, I went back and forth, and I'm going to do a video review of this. It was actually a really interesting process. So I went back and forth with a salesperson, you know, text message, very, very, I guess you'd say year 2020 or whatever, you know, the new way of doing business. So I did, you know, went back and forth, and you know, they were trying to sell me a vehicle, and they sent me a link, and I didn't like the color, and I said, look, I don't like black paint on a vehicle because it shows scratches. I mean, now if you wax it and it's perfect, I think a black paint on a vehicle is one of the best color paints. But I said, I do like this other color. So he said, well, what if I could do the same thing for the vehicle you want? So I'm like, well, you know, let me think about it. And basically just kept stalling, you know, throwing disinterest. You know, I was like, yeah, I'm interested, but, you know, that's still not good enough, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, it got down to the end. And I mean, I never taught numbers, but it got down to the end, and I'm like, and they're like, well, what would it take for us to sell you that vehicle today? Stingray Aerial Solutions, welcome aboard. And then I shot them this ridiculously low number for the new vehicle, and this ridiculously inflated trade-in value for my A3. And long story short, I ended up getting what I shot their way. And not only did I get that, but I got the vehicle. All the paperwork was done online. I never visited the dealership. I never, I mean, I did this completely based upon specs online and my knowledge of the vehicles. So did everything online and had the vehicle delivered to me. Never had to go to the dealership. Spent 15 minutes on paperwork. Gave them the keys to my vehicle, and then did the trade. So I posted a review video. So I'm actually thrilled, man. It's bigger. I was driving an A3 Audi, which is the smallest one, and you know, awesome fuel economy. But now I swapped, and I've got an Audi A4, which is, after driving the A3 for about 2 years or so, as soon as I put my butt in the A4, it was just such a heavier, larger vehicle, quieter. I mean, I love the Audi A3, don't get me wrong, but the Audi A4, it's immediately apparent when you sit inside of it and drive it. It's just on a different level as far as comfort. I'm not going to say anything about the performance of the A3 because it was a solid performer, man. That thing would get up and go 0 to 60. I forget how fast. I mean, it was fast. The A4, the one I've got, is not quite as fast, get up and go, as the A3. But the gas mileage, I think, is better. And so that's been another thing. I've been doing a lot of review videos of that. I like I mean, I'm not a big car guy. I mean, I'm not gonna sit down like some of these YouTubers and pull them apart and tell you all the ins and outs. I'm not that well versed, but as far as being a consumer and a driver that, you know, wants to drive something nice yet affordable, and affordability is not just the purchase price, but it's also the you know, the maintenance, because a lot of times, you know, you may falsely assume that you're getting a good deal on a vehicle, and keep in mind the purchase price of the vehicle is not the only cost. You know, there's a lot of vehicles you can get a good deal on, but the cost of ownership is ridiculous. Let's see, got some comments coming in here. Stingray said, had to send my Mavic Air 2 to DJI yesterday, hoping for good experience. Hopefully so, man. I would think that any business today would want to offer outstanding customer service. JSK Enterprise says, I had to send my Mavic Air 2 to them also. So what happened to y'all's Mavic Air 2s? Why did you have to send these in? Man, it's heating up. Gimbal over, oh man, that's nasty. So did you do I'm assuming you did a calibration and everything and a firmware update, and that didn't fix it? You know, the time I've seen gimbal overload error, and I'm sure this probably isn't the case with yours, but and it may have been a Phantom, but one time I saw that, and it was because I inadvertently left the gimbal protector on it. So, and I'm sure that's not the case. Did you check? I'm assuming that Sager Art says, loving Mavic Air 2, no issue so far coming from Evo 1. JSK Enterprise, same here, and Crooked Horizon. You scared me. Yeah, so it's just a really cool drone. And so what's your experience coming from the Autel? How do you compare that to the oh, Andrea, happy Thursday, long weekend. Oh yes, thank you. And Andrea, of course, the super chat, and by the way, everyone, feel free to super chat like Andrea just did. I've got the sound of the super chat in the studio, and I will sound that when I'm going to do one for Andrea during my next live show, which is hopefully tomorrow evening. So that's really cool. I will super chat, and I will pour myself a frozen drink to celebrate Andrea's super chat this evening. I'll pour a frozen drink tomorrow night. Let's see. Infused Adventures, welcome aboard. Sager Art says, much better range than Evo 1. Been using the Pano modes a lot. Interesting. Stingray Aerial Solutions. Do one now without the horn. Now that would be if I can do that, I mean, I'll try. I'll do a proper one tomorrow night. How about that? Do a proper Infused Adventures. Yeah, I had the gimbal problems with the Mini. I'm looking for my friend. God touched me. Can I sue him? Wow. I don't know if you'd want to do that. That's pretty crazy comment, man. Andrea, LOL. That's yeah, that is crazy. So, Sage Arts, where did you get your didgeridoo? Actually, I've got a link on my website. You'll have to check it out. And I'm not in front of my computer right now. Let me add that as an action item, and I will post, because I think it may have been on my old website. I'm going to do a follow-up review of the didgeridoo, and I'm going to be sure to post a link to where you can find the didgeridoo. Because I can't, seriously, off the top of my head right now, I can't even remember the name of the place. But I got it in Australia. Aero Solution says, let's see. Aero Solution says, Looking for my friend. Be blessed that he touched you and go on. Fly Right Drone says, hey, Captain. Hey, Fly Right. Always good to have you, man. Always good. Always good to have Fly Right. That's the cool thing about this channel is that we have so many people that always tune in. It's super awesome. And again, just as a reminder, if you would like to be a live guest on a studio show, just let me know and I'll shoot you a link. I've got the new studio setup. I've streamlined the live guest interface. So basically all that I do is shoot the guest to link, and using your smartphone or your computer with webcam and mic, you can be face on video. So, and I mean, and I know not everybody wants to be on a video camera, but if you do, it's all good. I'm looking for guests. So, man, it's getting hot. Ooh, sweating, but that's a good thing, because when you're sweating, you're making progress. And yeah, it's some cool stuff. Whew. Super hot. Man, I love this super chat. I am so glad that that YouTube added that feature. Because they had, and I forget the name of it, but they had a feature a while back that didn't work well like super chat. Super chat's just so simple. I mean, you just do the super chat in the super chat below the chat section during the live show, and you can support channels. I support it's just crazy stuff, but I watch AC3. He does a lot of like wristwatch reviews and stuff, and I'm trying to set him up with Jenny L. She's in Germany. I'm trying to set those two up to do a live show. I think it would create a lot of buzz for both of their channels. So, but yeah, I'll throw super chats here and there out as well, because it's so important to support, to support the channels that you enjoy. Man, it's hot. So yeah, we can have a very in-depth drone conversation tomorrow evening for sure in the studio. I think that's going to be cool. It's kind of freaky that that y'all are seeing these gimbal overload errors, and two of y'all on this show right now have sent your Mavic Air 2s in for repair. That's kind of percentage wise, that's pretty bad, man. And I just hope that there's not, hope that doesn't foreshadow. And I would hate for this to be the case, but hopefully that doesn't suggest any sort of quality control issues. Gabriel, welcome aboard. Like I said, Georgia in the United States. So just yeah, it's getting dark, but whew, man, but it's hot, that's for sure. Super duper hot. But yeah, that's trying to think of what else is going on here. Just I hope everybody has a safe and happy 4th of July. Fire Right says, getting dark here too. I'm in North Carolina. Love North Carolina, man. I love going up there and backpacking. Well, and actually, even though I was in Gatlinburg, I was backpacking. Some of the trails I did were in North Carolina. Gabriel says, you should shoot some FPV freestyle drone videos. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. That would, that would be cool. I've never done that. You're just talking about like FPV instead of like the gimbal. Gray said, hey, Irish guy, you going for a walk? Oh yeah. Yep, trying to burn off. I've been eating fried chicken. I've been eating chicken wings. I've been eating let's see, what else? Tacos, burritos, Chef Boyardee, a little bit of stuff. But I tell you, that unsweet tea maker that I use has saved a ton of unhealthiness. because, you know, you drink unsweet tea, you're not getting all the sugar and all that stuff, which is good. It's the sugar, you know, to y'all's point, the keto folks out there, it's the sugar on top of the carbs. It's just so devastating. You know, you don't realize how bad it can be for you. Andrea sounds good, but you are barbecue for the 4th. Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm gonna be smoking smoking some ribs, smoking. I'd love to do a brisket, and brisket's just so challenging. It's either great or it's horrible. Infuse says, thank goodness for Boyardee for sure. Yeah, no joke. Gray says, Irix, you do go to the Virgin Islands a lot. I go there a ton. But right now, since Our Skies Adventure Channel is in a, you know, travel ban because of the situation, I can't get on a boat and I can't get on an airplane or mass transport to go to the Virgin Islands. So I'm I'm missing it. So let's see here. Gabriel says, check out Rotor Riot channel. That's more FPV drones. I'll check that out. Rotor Riot. Infuse Adventure, same here, doing the grill. Far Right says, I follow you on Instagram. You always cooking good stuff. Gray says, do you go to the Virgin Islands for business? Yes, I do. Go there quite a bit for business, actually. And, you know, part of that, well, I mean, you know, obviously it's business, but there's, you know, a side of pleasure. I mean, when you're down there, you have you know, you have great food, you have great drinks, you have great beaches. And let's see, Grace says, I remember watching you all the time at Virgin Islands. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it's one of the best places. You know, hopefully, and the sad part is that unfortunately, most all places are becoming overly populated and developed. And, you know, and Hawaii's awesome, but Hawaii is a prime example of that. It has become so commercialized that when you go to Hawaii, you don't really feel like, I mean, unless you go out to the beach and see the water, you don't really feel like you're on an island. And that's the thing about the Virgin Islands. You go there and it's, you know, you don't have the high rises, you don't have all the fast food restaurants. I mean, it's just a very, you know, it's an escape from the hustle and bustle of most other parts of the world. So, you know, hopefully it never comes down. It's not destroyed like a lot of other places have been because of commercialization. Gabriel says, come down to Naples, Florida. It's beautiful down here. Would be great for drones. Yeah, Naples is a place I'd like to go sometime. And that's, you know, from Georgia, that's not too far. You know, and that would be something, you know, being part, you know, I'm under a travel ban for airplanes and boats and trains. But, you know, if I was in a vehicle on the road and drove, you know, down to Florida, that would be doable. Thing is, because of all this stuff out, you know, it'd be a different beach experience. You know, you'd have to isolate and all of this. Grace says, are you far from Atlanta? Atlanta, I mean, not taking traffic into account, maybe just a few hours. Infuse Adventures, the closest we get to Hawaii right now is Hawaiian takeout. There you go. Yeah, Hawaii's not worth it, man. And I mean, honestly, it's become so commercialized. The last time I was in Hawaii was 2009, and it had gotten so developed then that I don't have any desire to go back. It's a long flight. It's expensive. I mean, yeah, there's some good food down there. You know, I love, Grace, when you think about Atlanta, I think about the Braves. Oh, yeah, the tomahawk chop. There you go. And that's so stupid. They said that was some sort of anything. I remember the tomahawk chop, going to the Braves games. And that's just, I don't know. this political correctness, whatever it is gone overboard. And I don't know. Anyway, no politics here, but it irritates me because, you know, I'll tell you how it is. If I feel like I'm getting fat, I'll tell you I'm getting fat. I'm not going to tell you that I'm getting, I may be experiencing weight challenge. I may be experiencing a weight challenge. No, I'm getting fat. Okay, well, if you don't want to be fat, you need to lose weight. Okay, well, I'm going to lose weight. You know, this PC, political correctness, is just crazy. Grace says, John Rocker is one of my favorite players. There you go. And then Gabriel says, Puerto Rico travel vlog would be awesome. You know, I've never, and I go through Puerto Rico quite a bit, but I've never gone out in Puerto Rico as Irish Guys Adventure Channel. So, you know, that's an island in the USVI, the U.S. Virgin Islands. That's a big island that I really need to penetrate with videos. So, you know, hopefully, getting fat, at least you're working on it, walking. Yeah, no joke. I mean, and that's the thing. That's why I didn't do a live stream from the studio, because Gabriel says, many underground caves. Check out my Crystal Caves video from Bermuda. I thought that was pretty cool. I'd love to check out some caves in Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, people get fat and they don't do anything about it, and they just get fatter, and it's just like, come on, man. If you don't want to, I mean, you know, some people may want to be fat, and that's fine. You know, do what you want to do. I mean, it's not a, you know, and I don't want to. Number one, the reason I don't want to be fat is that I want to be healthier. I want to have energy to do all my stuff. Because I mean, I run. Again, I don't just run Irish Guys Adventure Channel. I run a ton of businesses. So, you know, it's a fun and rewarding life. But, you know, if I was morbidly obese, I wouldn't be able to do all this. So, you know, fitness is important, and it just gives you more energy. Grace says, being fat is bad, diabetes and heart attack. Yeah, no joke. And I mean, you know, why not, you know, be proactive about trying to promote quality health? You know, if you can do that, I mean, if you're able to exercise, why not do it? And, you know, that's common sense. And I don't know, it's just, I don't know. But, and I mean, you can multitask. I mean, heck, I'm multitasking right now. This live show is 43 minutes in. You know, I'm exercising. It's incentivized because I'm able to chat with y'all. It's incentivized because I'm getting super chats. People are being kind and super chatting my channel, and you know, that's another incentive to walk even longer. You know, getting those super chats and the awesome conversation, and you know, and just building the buzz for the next show that'll be in the studio, and drank some good rum. There you go. So Andrea, when I drink rum tomorrow evening during the live show from the studio, number one, I would have earned the rum because I burned this today. And then number two, I'll be celebrating your super chat. So I'm like, well, you know, Andrea super chatted, so now I can justify pouring some premium rum in a drink. So we've got another comment came in. Gabriel, how many businesses do you run? Do you own them? Yes, I own all of them. And right now, let me see, how many do I run? 1, 2, 3. Right now, I'm just running 4 businesses. It's not too bad. But again, you know, I'm one of these, you know, I move from one venture to the next. So, you know, right now, no, actually, I stand corrected. I'm running 6 businesses. I just said 4. It's not really a lot. I mean, it can be, but, and I won't go into all the specifics, but if you're able to blend things, and yeah, 6. So if you're able to blend things, so here's the way, and this is just a little bit of entrepreneurial advice for everyone. If you want rum run, there you go. If you want to run, you know, multiple ventures, think about the ventures that you're creating. Think about the ventures that you're incubating. And Grace says, I have one business. One is great. But if you want to run multiple concurrent businesses, think about how, if you build the framework, and this framework is, the back end of the business. How do you monetize it? How do you track blah, 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 blah? If you can create templates that can also be used for your other businesses, even though they're different businesses, if you can create templates that can be slightly tweaked to operate all of those ventures, then it's easier. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's less complicated to run multiple businesses concurrently if you have templates that are somewhat similar. Because from a managerial perspective, especially if you're owning and operating these businesses yourself, in your mind is thinking the same way across all the businesses. For example, what if one of your businesses involved the metric system and the other involved the imperial system? That would make you think a little bit more as you were, doing the day-to-day business. Because for this one, you'd have to think in metric units, and the other one you'd have to think in imperial units. Empirical, rather. So, that's just a silly example, but if you keep everything consistent and your only variable is the widget, whether it's a service or a product, if your only variable is the product or the service, then in essence, even though you're running multiple businesses concurrently, the workflow is the same. It's just different widgets. So if you can think about it from that perspective, you can be a successful entrepreneur. And that's the thing I preach to everyone is, keep your stuff going and keep it organized and retain ownership of your ventures. It's okay. Sometimes it's okay to, Grace, I'll get back to the Irish thing. It's okay to what's the word for it? It's okay to sell if the price is right, but don't necessarily create your businesses for the sole purpose of selling, because if you do that, your heart, your soul, your energy is not going to be behind that business. Therefore, that venture will likely never become as successful as it could have otherwise if you were passionate about it. But even if you're passionate about a business, if the price is right and you want to sell it and you've got other gigs to move along with, again, there's a term called serial entrepreneur. And I would, I hate classifying people as whatever, but I will accept the badge serial entrepreneur. And that just means that, there's one gig, it does well. There's one gig, it does poorly. But it's never a situation where, I'm going to cash out, I'm going to be lazy, I'm going to get fat and sit on the sofa and eat, junk food. No, that's not my end game. I'm a serial entrepreneur, meaning that, okay, well, that was great. That was profitable. And what's next? Always, at least I do, always ask myself, what's next? And Grace, as far as Irish, no. I just came up with this gibberish name, Irix guy. And that was back before Google discovered my YouTube channel and invited me to become a partner. And I'll share that story tomorrow night during the live stream. But yeah, it's just gibberish. And I turned it into something that's unique and cool sounding. I tacked on Adventure Channel and stuck with the screen name Irix guy. It's just gibberish. But it sounds unique. And, one thing for any business venture, you want to make sure that your name stands out. Grace, Irish guy, did you go to college? Yes, public relations. And that was beneficial, I guess. Granted, management information systems is my forte, but I couldn't fathom MIS in college. I had to do something different that just, forced me to think differently. And that was public relations. I mean, I have honestly, I had and I have zero interest in public relations. I just, I wanted some sort of just lousy degree that would just say, hey, you went to college and here you go, here's your paper. I mean, my business knowledge, my technical knowledge, and my business administration knowledge is not linked in any way whatsoever to my public relations background. I mean, that was fun. I mean, honestly, really all that I learned in college was, I improved my communication skills. That was the big thing because I did public relations. And I guess that was the value that I captured in college was being able to better communicate with people. So, I got something out of it. I learned how to drink. Had a bunch of girlfriends. Never got married until after college. But I mean, it was, college was a cool experience. Probably, I would say, a lot of people would say college was the best years of their life, and it was fun. I've got a ton of real world friends that I keep in touch with on a weekly basis from college, all different success levels. I mean, I've got some friends that are just, they're so far up there on the business success ladder that's insane. And then I've got some that are just happy and they surprise me. So I mean, it's, and actually, and I won't drop names obviously because of confidentiality reasons, but I've got one of my best friends from college at Secret Service. So, I've got people that, friends, really good friends from college that are in all different aspects of the world, and it's pretty fascinating. Stingray Solution says, Drone Evangelist. I used to love that show. Stay tuned for the reemergence of Drone Evangelist. He's overdue, and I've still got droneevangelist.com. Grace, I got lucky and married a very smart and successful woman, and I'm not that bright. There you go. There you go. And that's the thing. I mean, and when I was in college, that was, I dated a bunch of girls, and they were looking, as we called it, the MRS, the Mrs. degree, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, but at that time, I wanted to be single for a long time because I wanted to build, incubate, and grow these businesses. Yeah. Grace says, it takes me an hour and a half to watch 60 Minutes. There you go. Well, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and tune in tomorrow night for the live show from the studio. I just had to get had to sweat some stuff out, and now it's time to stop my workout. Pop the stop sign. Grace, thanks, Irish Guy. You're the man. Grace, you're awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for the super chats. And tomorrow night's live show is going to be a lot of fun. I've already gotten a super chat, so I'll be able to celebrate with a premium rum drink during tomorrow's live show. Gabriel, take care. Take care, everyone. Going to go ahead and cut this. Good night. Good night, Grace. Y'all have a good one. Later. Great talk. Stingray, thank you. Infused Gangsters, see you then. See you then, man. See y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. Be safe.